Hello, everybody. I'm Logan Crawford, and welcome to NFTStudio24 YouTube channel. NFTStudio24 is a global media platform dedicated to empowering the emerging world of decentralization, blockchain, metaverse, NFT, and crypto. By reporting on the latest and most authentic news, we interview various figures to highlight their expertise and contributions to the industry in hopes of conveying the right message to our global audience. On today's episode, we are proud and honored to be interviewing Sebastien Borget, who is the co-founder and COO of The Sandbox. The Sandbox is a decentralized gaming platform built on the Ethereum blockchain. Primarily released as an online mobile game, The Sandbox shifted into the Web3 world, seeing the high potential it held for creators and players alike. Now, The Sandbox is one of the few platforms that are leading the metaverse industry in a whole new direction. Sebastien Borget is the COO and co-founder of The Sandbox, who has been involved with every big step of the game it took towards the metaverse and the Web3 development as well. Sebastien, we are delighted to have you here today on NFT Studio 24. Thanks for joining us.
My pleasure. Hi, everyone. It's good to be here.
Good to have you. Let's start out with a quick overview. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell us a little bit about The Sandbox.
Of course. Well, I've been an entrepreneur for 15 years now. Together with my business partner, AkibaBlade, we co-founded 3 companies. We spent the last 11 years actually now, doing games with our mobile game studio. And we always had this idea, this vision that we wanted to turn players into creators. We wanted to empower anyone to be a creator. That's what we did. We used new technology and we started on mobile, leveraging the touch screen of those devices to allow anyone to create just by a touch of their finger, any sort of world. Back then in 2D, it was immediately a large success. And over 8 years, we grew that game with more than 40 million installs, 70 million player-made creation. We had a lot of amazing content made by users, but also a big frustration that those creators, we weren't able to keep them over time, because even if they were passionate, even if they spent literally hours, hundreds of hours on their months on the application, they were not earning any sort of revenue. And after a while, you stop doing things just out of passion. You need one more thing to drive you, but the platform couldn't allow us to do so. In 2018, we started to get interested about blockchain technology, and we discovered the first blockchain game, CryptoKitties and NFT. We immediately saw the potential of combining user-generated content and NFT so that anyone could make their own NFTs, not just virtual cats on the blockchain that you buy on the marketplace outside of game, just any kind of content that could be used with a game maker to create your own games, sell it, monetize it the way you want. And that could be the solution to our problem. We've been working since then to create a new version of the Sandbox, this time 3D, multi-platform, multiplayer, with this idea that essentially anyone could become a creator, make 3D content or 3D game, 3D experience, and monetize them the way they want.
Now, is that part
step by step?
Yep. Is that part of Sandbox Alpha Season 3 that's coming out this summer?
The Sandbox Alpha Season 3 is live now since this Wednesday it launched. And yeah, step by step, the platform has been developing, the tools have been developing. We have the 3D editor, we have the game maker, we have the map, we have the marketplace, and we have the Alpha Season, which is allowing players, users to discover the possibilities and the content that has been created in using Sandbox tool. We've grown definitely the Sandbox platform. We have over 400 partners globally, major brands, major IPs, celebrities, and content from all around the world. Some of them include Adidas, Gucci, Warner Music, Ubisoft, The Walking Dead, Snoop Dogg, Steve Aoki, and so on. And some of those content, not only they own virtual land in the Sandbox map, but they are also playable already in the Sandbox Alpha season. So this week, actually, we launched the Alpha Season 3, the third season, which is a major event this year, where for 10 weeks, people will get to experience more than 98 experiences, including 22 major brands, Rabbits, Care Bears, Smurf, The Walking Dead, Steve Aoki, Snoop Dogg, Sweco, Warner Music, Avenged Sevenfold, and many more, as well as content made by the community itself, our best creator, the best studio evolving into the ecosystem. All of that you can explore. It becomes progressively unveiled over 10 weeks. And as you play, you interact with your avatar into those games and experience, you complete quests, you earn a reward, you climb the leaderboard, and you get a chance to earn sand and NFTs at the end of the season.
It's very exciting, especially for the fans out there, that you're collaborating with such cool characters, such cool people. One of those collaborations, of course, is with Snoop Dogg. Tell me the story behind that collaboration, how it all came about.
It's an exciting story, of course. Snoop Dogg has been one of the very first music artists to embrace the Sandbox. He had this vision that he wanted to create the Snoopverse and connect closer with his fans, allowing them to visit his mansion and hold the Snoop compound. So we started there. Then we bringing to life the Snoop Dogg mansion, adding stories and gameplay. We also launched a Snoop Dogg avatar collection called the Doggies, 10,000 avatars, each one being unique with different trait, characteristic, aesthetic, inspired by his 25 years of music. So each of these music clip, we took the most popular and adapted. And it was very successful. It sold out in a matter of minutes. We also launched the Snoop Dogg tickets and the early access pass and the private pass, which are 2 tickets that will allow owners to access many benefits, including access to special means, NFT drop, and also access to his first concert, which will be launching later this year. We also are working on extra NFT, like wearable equipment, his car collection, and so on. He went even further by creating a music clip and creating a song dedicated to the metaverse. So the house I built is a whole song he wrote. 100% music clip is actually captured in Sandbox. And if you own a Snoop Dogg avatar, Doggy, you were part of that clip as well. So quite strong as it bridged really across multiple media into culture, to mainstream culture through that. It's been, I think, over a year already that we're working closely with him on all those different topics.
Very exciting. Like you said, it's reaching across multimedia platforms. And I think that's exciting for everybody who's interested in Web3 right now and beyond, of course. Now, one of your collaborations, or should I say partnership, is with the World of Women for WOW and WOWG avatars. Tell us about the importance of this partnership for the Sandbox.
We're at Sandbox, we also care to build the metaverse in a way that is not just trying to recreate the existing society, but is really trying to do a better world. And that includes a world that is more inclusive, toward women, but also to other LGBTQ plus population and other ethnicities, bridging culture from all around the world without frontiers, and allowing people with their avatar more chances as this avatar represents a new identity. So, the Sandbox owns, as part of his NFT collection, several World of Women NFTs. I was one of the first fan and collector of the collection when I discovered the artist. And I wanted to bring to life those avatars into the Sandbox. So we've launched the World of Women Museum. It's like a very beautifully crafted museum, a place for art, digital art, and NFT art to be displayed. We've brought the WoW NFTs to life as playable avatars. So if you own an NFT, it becomes interoperable into the Sandbox and you can play with your WoW avatar. Whereas it was just a 2D image, it became a 3D playable character. Sandbox has been one of the pioneers in showcasing the possibility of interoperability. And we continue those collaboration. In season 3, you have a WoW experience. It's an adventure game, RPG, where we basically help bring to life the environment, the stories, the places where the character of WoW can evolve. And we contribute to make the metaverse more diverse and more inclusive at the same time.
Wonderful. Now, one of the exciting aspects of the Sandbox was an event that took place in New York City recently. It was Sandbox Con. You were a panelist at this event as well. Tell me about your experience at this event and what it was all about.
It's been an amazing moment for us to connect closer with the community, to bring as well like brands, builders, artists, and our team all together in the place. And at the same time, to discuss key topics that we think are essential in shaping the metaverse around culture, around lifestyle, fashion, music, entertainment, gaming, by bringing those panelists on stage, and then more fun and partying by night when we had Steve Aoki or Tiesto as DJs, as it was a 2 days event. We had over 2,000 participants, an amazing event in attendance, and also a way for us to reward our community, since if you were a landowner or an avatar owner or a Snoop Pass holder, you had extra benefit as well, access to special areas where you could meet the celebrities or get special swag. So a good way as well to bring to life in the real world as well what your NFT ownership grants you.
It's an exciting time for sure. Now, Time apparently announced a partnership with you at the Sandbox to build a virtual Times Square, and that was announced during the Sandbox Con. Tell us a little bit about that partnership and the importance of choosing someone to collaborate with in a way such as this.
Exactly. During the Sandbox New York conference, we had the pleasure to have Keith Grothman, the CEO of Time Magazine, on stage, and we unveiled live our collaboration with Time to create Times Square without an S. It's a place into the Sandbox, this virtual Manhattan that our map represents, where there will be art and other NFTs part of the Timepiece collection, which is like the most historical series of historical covers that Time is launching as NFTs, but also other more diverse NFTs about music, about fashion, etc. to be exposed and located at a very strategic place on the map, which will, in my opinion, be central into that neighborhood and at the cross of culture in the Sandbox metaverse.
Now, Steve Aoki performed at the con. Tell us a little about your collaboration with him for the metaverse avatars and the story behind this partnership.
So it's no coincidence that everyone you saw talking or performing at this event in New York is present in the metaverse. That's also how you connect with those artists, those brands in the real world, and then you see what they do in the metaverse. And well, he brought to life two things. In this Alpha Season 3, Steve Aoki is a resident DJ in Club XYZ, which is like our virtual dance club. And he's performing exclusive songs there. And then we have also his Aoki Mansion, which is a reproduction of his real world place, where you can play games, socialize with others, and also explore in many spots of his house, and a great diversity of his musical pieces. As well as you move to rooms, etc., you hear different sounds, and you get, I think he's the best to explain himself, but you get deep into his thoughts, his brain, so that even things that are not possible in the real world become possible and into his virtual house.
Absolutely. It makes it truly an immersive experience when you have a performer like that performing at the con. think it's wonderful. Now, you recently visited Japan. Tell us what your experience was like there, and can we expect any exclusive Japanese sandbox activities in the future?
So the Sandbox has a great community in Japan, as well as in Korea and in Hong Kong. So we have a team based in Japan that's been working into growing the community, educating about VoxEdit and GameMaker. And the first thing I did when I arrived in Japan, actually, was to speak in front of 150 students of Digital Hollywood University, one of the largest video gaming school of Tokyo, about like what is the metaverse and what they can do, how they can become creators, how they can find their next job as a builder or as an artist in the metaverse. I also got the chance to meet with our team, to meet with various builder studios who are going to reach out to the local brand and build the experiences on our platform. And of course, to meet with key partners there, such as Shibuya 109, which is this very famous landmark in Tokyo, where you have this Shibuya crossing, and discuss the experience that we'll be building together. So this landmark becomes accessible in the sandbox, but in a very augmented way as well. And other partnership that we hope to announce later this year to keep bringing the Japanese and Nippon culture into the sandbox as well.
One of our personal favorites from the Sandbox collaborations is Bushidos, featuring samurai Japanese warrior avatars. We're really excited to see more Japanese cultured creations in your platform, and it sounds like that is a path you will be taking, right?
We have Captain Tsubasa, the very famous football comic. We have Minto, we have Kwan, we have Avex, which is a very popular music label with Ayumi Yamazaki, which is a J-pop singer you might be familiar with. It's quite interesting, and we'll keep on.
Moving on to the creative side right now, the Sandbox gives users a platform to build and monetize their work by selling it on the marketplace using VoxEdit and GameMakers. How are these tools contributing to the overall vision for the Sandbox?
Those tools are essential to our vision. Like, we see ourselves as a way to empower the ideas of everyone, to allow anyone to become a creator. And so it means that those tools need to be accessible to anyone without any special skills before, without any programming language. So GameMaker allows you to build experiences just by drag and drop. It sounds simple, and yet it's a very powerful tool given the rich diversity of experiences that we find you can find during season 3, but that also whenever we launch a game jam, a video competition, we receive hundreds to thousands of submissions from people around the world, creating very diverse, high quality games on their favorite IPs. We've seen Smurf, we've seen the Walking Dead games, we've seen Pororo from Korea, and many other, to the point that even those brands who have official games on other platforms have been very pleasantly surprised by the quality of the experiences. And those tools keep evolving as we add more features, which will keep expanding the creativity of the builders. VoxEdit is also pushing towards enabling anyone to make 3D content and animate them. Voxel is a very accessible format that you can think of like digital Legos, meaning like anyone can make 3D content without reading a user manual. It's not like using Maya or 3D Studio Max, very complex software that requires years of training and are only used by the professional of 3D or cinematographic industry. Here, if you want the metaverse to scale in terms of content and in terms of users, you need to make the tool accessible as much as possible. Because if not, the metaverse will end up being this blank, empty state, and we need to populate it with experience as fast as possible.
Yep. The Sandbox seems committed to leading creators towards the metaverse to build the future of Web3. How successful have you been so far with this ambition, and what are your plans for the future for creators?
I believe we're on the right track in terms of growth. We just passed 4 million users with a registered wallet. We have more than 400 brands from top major brands, which allows us to reach over 1 billion people around the world through that. We are live with Alpha Season 3, and the first results are even better than the result from our Alpha Season 2 back in March. We have more than 22,000 landowners as part of this map of 166, 164 lands, each one being a unique NFT, which means that we are one of the most decentralized, most distributed in terms of ownership. And that means we're going to see a great variety of experiences because there is a great variety of builders. We believe we have a chance as this new format to create a new format of entertainment and bring on not just the existing gamer market into Sandbox, with 2.5, 3 billion gamer overall, but to attract people who were not gamers before, but might be interested in the socialization aspect or discovering the culture, the music, educating themselves, or other use cases that will be possible in Sandbox. And that will allow metaverse to really grow toward the mainstream audience.
The Sandbox and Binance Launchpad went viral on the internet, as you know, and even won the Launchpad Project of the Year 2022 prize from Binance. Will you do this kind of activity again in the future with Binance?
So Binance has been a strategic partner of Sandbox. We indeed launched the Sand token in, 2 years ago, I think, first on Binance. So, and since then, we actually have done many other activities and collaboration with them, like Binance on lands on our platform. We've launched the first NFT of Binance as Sandbox characters, allowing we had Zodiac characters inspired by the 12 Zodiac signs. We had a few Binance robots, etc. And we keep encouraging and educating users as well with the Binance Academy and various Binance reward program for people who trade or who stake and so on. So it's a great partner who touch on all areas of like decentralization, DeFi, and crypto. And they also help to educate. We help them to educate their users about the possibilities of metaverse, of gaming, of NFTs with real utility.
What are your short and long-term plans for the Sandbox? And can you share any updates with us that we might expect to see in the next few months?
So the short term is to keep growing Sandbox in terms of adoption of players, in terms of adoption by brands, and we're on the right track. Every week we have new partners to announce. Recently, Tony Hawk, Gordon Ramsay, Paris Hilton are the latest who entered the Sandbox. We want to show that the metaverse is really providing a place that is experience focused first, not around monetization, transaction. It's not a commercial place yet. It's a place where brands can be closer, can offer new type of experiences. Users can enjoy spending time. Users can actually be rewarded for the time they spend as they explore those lands, that they complete quests, they engage in season. So pushing for a new business model called play and earn, and ultimately even turning a creator into creator themselves, discovering new skills. We believe metaverse can bring millions of new jobs. So that's what at the core we are pushing forward. We're proud to have hundreds of studios part of the Sandbox ecosystem, and we hope to grow it into several thousand one day. The more midterm goals, by the end of the year, we'll be launching the first virtual concert with Snoop Dogg in Sandbox, and keep updating our GameMaker offer that will offer more and more features for creators. So keep looking for new ideas, more creativity. Allow landowners to publish all their experience directly on their land and start monetizing it the way they want. Being inspired by what we've did before with the season, so that ultimately, if you enter the Sandbox with your avatar, you will have thousands of seasons, thousands of experience to choose from, to be rewarded and to engage, to collect NFT from, and so on. Finally, we are also pushing for really this decentralized open metaverse vision, meaning like we want to enable Sandbox NFT to be used outside of Sandbox more and more. We're already seeing that across many mobile AR games and other decentralized applications, but also making a Sandbox a place where you can play with any of your NFTs, bringing to life more and more collection of NFTs that are pretty playable characters.
It's an exciting time for sure. Now, coming in on social media, we have this question from Cryptoslate journalist AkibaBlade. And Akiba wants to know if you have any updates on the potential to add VR support to the roadmap.
So it's really interesting. We're really interested into like researching what can make the metaverse more immersive, how we can keep offering new ways for people to interact with each other and to make friends, etc. Before we jump into VR, I think there's several areas that we can keep getting better at, around like the avatar, around the self-expression, around dance, around voice. Then we're looking at AR, like how first making Sandbox accessible from mobile, because right now Sandbox is only on PC and Mac, which is also a factor of why I believe it's limiting our growth. So once we bring Sandbox to mobile, it will accelerate even more. And from there, how we can use even better the possibilities of mobile to bridge between the physical world and virtual world and create effects that only AR support. VR is a more long-term vision. We are waiting for the device to mature. It's still not something that's as mainstream as a PC or a mobile, we think. And also, like when you are in VR in the metaverse, you actually are the avatar. Like you're no longer dissociated. Like you only see what it sees. You only move how you move. I think like the metaverse is not that. Like the avatar, you can have like your real world self and your virtual self that can coexist and do different action at the same time. That's also one of the possibilities that make the metaverse quite exciting.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now we're going to go on to our rapid fire questions. So I'm going to ask you a series of questions. If you could just give me a short answer, 3 to 5 seconds, that would be perfect. Starting out with this question, what are your predictions about the metaverse market volume in 2023?
I think it will definitely keep growing, and ultimately the metaverse will outgrow the real world economy.
Do you think Web3 gaming will become as common as mobile gaming?
I think it will, but ultimately it will maybe also blend.
What are your predictions for Bitcoin in 2023?
I don't have any specific prediction about Bitcoin.
Okay, fair enough. What are your predictions for Sandcoin in 2025?
Once Sandbox is a platform that is live, where all land are in the hand of users, all sand is in the hand of users, and any landowner can launch their collection, can launch their experience, can grow it, can monetize it. I believe like Sand will have reached his full utility as per our roadmap.
What are your top 3 coins and why?
We believe like ETH as like really this blockchain that supports smart contract. We believe in Polygon since we migrated to Polygon as our layer 2 solution. And as we are building the metaverse, we believe Sand can be one of the leading metaverse coins.
Do you think metaverse will rise even more after the crypto market picks up again?
I think like the metaverse is a trend that keeps on no matter of like the fluctuation of the crypto market, because ultimately it has long-term utility. All the NFTs avatar lands, and it's more than hype or speculation. It's really the next technological disruption where and it's this concept where we're all moving toward. Like we want to have a 3D internet, 3D space where we interact much more with each other.
Final question rather, you are an inspiring entrepreneur for sure. Tell us what message you'd like to give to our NFT Studio 24 viewers, Web3 developers, stakeholders, and aspiring NFT artists.
Well, I invite you all to try the Sandbox, enter the metaverse, create an avatar, play it, make an opinion for yourself, hopefully be inspired, and maybe, who knows, the metaverse could become your next job, your next career, your next passion as an artist, as a creator, as a builder, as a landowner, as a community manager. You will find something that you love and meet new people really interesting there.
It's an exciting time. It is the future. Sebastien Borget, COO and co-founder of The Sandbox. Thank you so much for joining us here today on NFT Studio 24.
My pleasure. Thank you, everyone, and see you in the metaverse.
Pleasure is all mine. And to the folks at home, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more exclusive content on NFT Studio 24. I'm Logan Crawford. See you next time.